And Ms. Sanchez, if he is testifying right now, I do not need you in the background telling him what to say.
No, he doesn't need to tell me what to say. I just.
And I guess for Rodman Realty, did you receive exhibits from Ms. Sanchez?
We received some emails.
Yes, they received numerous emails of like exhibit 1 through 10, like all of that. And there's quite a bit of exhibits that they were given.
Okay, well, I don't have those in front of me.
Yeah, because I thought it was an in-person trial as well. I requested that. Are you at the courthouse currently?
No, we are at an administrative building, so all of these small claims trials are conducted via Zoom.
Is there a way that I could like share my screen with you through my email and show evidence that way? I understand. I was also under the impression though that it was an in-person trial, which is what I prepared for. I'm at the courthouse in Kelso because I thought it was in person. I'm wondering if you guys can if we can reschedule for like as soon as week and I can drop them off today. I mean, I'm here in Kelso today. Again, I apologize. I'm a full-time nursing student. I'm 8.5 months pregnant, so I just have not had the time to be able to bring them down here.
Yeah, I'm just, and I see that in the notes from prior hearings and everything. And I know that you would, I think originally requested a continuance of today's trial, but it was denied.
Yeah, because I had to take off nursing school to come here because I thought it was in person.
So we are going to go through with the trial today. I'm going to do my best with the fact that I don't have exhibits from the plaintiff that were filed with the court. However, we are going to try to do them electronically so we can get this handled today because I'm really not inclined to continue this anymore. Do you promise to testify? Anything that you testify to is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So please go ahead and share your screen. And for the Rodman Realty folks, could you mute your phone so I can pay attention to Miss Sanchez, please? Sure. So you have filed a small claims document as well as an amended document. So
right.
The first one was for a total of, I believe, like $3,275, and the amended was for $4,175. Now, is that $4,175 encompassing the original claim amount, or is that in addition to the $3,275?
No, it's encompassing.
Okay, so it's the total you are seeking is $4,175.
Yes.
Okay. But the monetary things that you have discussed were moving expenses, certificate service fee, filing fee.
The difference would be
$900.
The difference would be my full security deposit refunded because they failed to refund me my full rent from when I lived there because they violated Washington laws regarding maintenance request. That it states in the law, I believe, that you're equal to, it's like 3 times the monthly rent if they violate these laws and they're
You're
fined.
not seeking that. You're seeking full security deposit of $900, moving expenses of $3,200, certificate service fee of $40, and filing fee of $35. Is that correct?
Plus the other stuff I mentioned, I just didn't add it, but yes.
Well, there's no amount associated with that. So I guess what are you seeking? Because what we have is not included. I only see the $4,175, and that is, I believe, if I'm doing the math correctly, that should just be those 4 expenses.
Okay.
Is that, I'm just going off of what your claim is.
I don't want to like get into an argument. It's like I said, if they're
into an argument.
If they're found in violation of like Washington laws, it states that you're equal to, it's 3 times the monthly rent. So that's what's included in there.
Included in your small claims?
Yes.
Okay. So the moving expenses, so it was $3,200 for the moving expenses?
Yes.
Regarding. Does that include?
Well, yeah, that includes like a down payment on my new place, my moving, like the U-Haul, everything that I had to move the expenses of that, because I ended my lease with them because of the violations of the law.
Okay.
And so I had to pay to get into a new place and not break my lease, but after ending the lease.
So right now, what I have in front of me and what I really want us to focus on today is those 4 expenses that you have listed out.
Okay.
That is what I will be considering. So for the total of $4,175. So I would like to keep us on track with what I realize that there's a lot of stuff that may have gone on between the parties throughout the lease agreement. That's neither here nor there. But right now, what's in front of me is I have these 4 costs that you are seeking. So let's just try to keep with, I'm not going to be making any rulings on whether they violated landlord tenant law, anything like that. Okay. It's just focusing on the small claims portion. Does that make sense?
But that's part of it.
Okay.
Was them violating by not, providing proper maintenance that was requested. Also retaliation is in the claim.
Okay. So we can get into that obviously a little bit if that's the basis for you moving and if that's the basis for your small claims. I just don't want, like, we're not going to be, this is not a trial about whether they, a lot of other like violations of like landlord tenant law and anything like that. I'm and like triple the amount of rent. What I have in front of me is that $4,175. So that's all I'm just trying to clarify. Let's stick to that. And if there
Okay.
is context from what has gone on with you guys in the past, that's totally fine. I just, like I said, I wanted us to keep on track. I'm just wondering how you got to that number, 3,200.
Yes, from the cost of my having to move into my new place. That's a down payment, first month's rent, plus the U-Haul.
So what was the down payment on your rent?
Let me pull it up for you. The total was $2,807.35, but it was approximately to rent the U-Haul and move it down to where I lived, like $200 approximately. I do remember that. Yeah, I just, as a tenant, I had requested very reasonable things. The unit was in very poor condition when I received it. I can also prove that I have my move-in checklist that was provided to Rodman. It was dirty. It was very, like, outlets were not up to standard and code. There was like hazards regarding that, and I requested these things to be fixed. There was also, I had an animal, and there was no screens, and I requested for those to be fixed, and they were never fixed. And, I ultimately, in combination with, not getting maintenance repairs done and the retaliation that I received from Rodman, I broke my lease and ended it, and had to move pretty abruptly. It was within like a 2-week period, because I was assaulted on the property by another tenant, and they also like tried to come into my house, and I had to call police and file a police report regarding that. And Rodman just did nothing about it. I just continued to face retaliation. They refused to do certain maintenance requests. And ultimately, had they not done those things and those incidents hadn't occurred, I would have stayed living there because it was affordable and within my budget. And then I had to, within 2 weeks, scarf out this money. And it's not right. It's not legal, and it's not fair to me as a tenant either.
You said retaliation.
Yes. When I
Again,
moved into the unit, again, it was very dirty. I have statements too that Rodman received from somebody who was there at time of move-in. I also contacted them directly because it was filthy in the unit, and I was just like, hey, like, I put a $900 security deposit down. I also asked you guys multiple times prior to move-in if it would be cleaned, and you guys assured me it would, and it wasn't. And then after that, I just received mass forms of retaliation. I had went down to the office at one point because I wanted to submit a formal complaint regarding how the unit was in not good condition when I received it. And they called the police on me for just exercising my rights and voicing my concerns. And they had me trespassed, which made it harder for me to like pay rent. And if I wanted to do anything or have any complaint with them, I couldn't deal with them directly. And they just made it a lot harder than it needed to be without real like cause. I didn't go in there and threaten anybody or, I voiced my rights as a tenant and stated that what they did was not okay. And I was trespassed for really no reason other than voicing my concerns. And then they, further retaliation, they refused to make certain, fulfill maintenance requests that I did. And that's, a violation of our lease agreement as well. They're required to, if I submit a maintenance request, they're required to fulfill that.
Do you have any documentation of maintenance requests that you have
Yes.
provided to defense and that you can share
Yes.
with the court?
Yes, I do. Sorry, there's a lot of evidence that was sent, so I have to go through.
And unfortunately, it was required to be filed with the court ahead of time by the deadline.
Yeah.
Not brought to trial.
Here's one. It's where I requested. So when I moved in, you could visibly tell that the front door had been like broken into, and I lived alone at the time, so it made me feel really unsafe. And so I had requested that the front door needs to be replaced, as there was like a huge gap and there was damage to it. That was requested on May 2nd, 2025. They never fulfilled that. There's also another one, like I stated, I had an animal and there was no screens. They were all missing. I requested that same day, May 2nd, 2025 at 6:47 p.m. I also have, let me look at my move-in checklist, because that also shows.
I do have the move-in checklist because that
Oh.
was an exhibit filed by defense
Okay.
in anticipation for a trial today.
Okay.
So I am showing I have the move in and move out inspection checklist.
So on that, it also states that the outlets need to be replaced because, and I have pictures of that as well, they would not like fully stay in. It was an electrocution hazard as well, and they never repaired any of those as well. There was damage to them. They were like broken in some places and pieces, and it was an electrocution hazard, and they never fixed those. They also, regarding retaliation and the outlets, they claim, and I have text messages, I can also provide that. They claim that an electrician company came out and that I failed to answer the door, so they tried to charge me. But I have text messages from the electrician company because they reached out to me directly, and I had stated that I was leaving town at the time they were trying to come, and I stated that I needed to be present because I put that in my move-in checklist, that I needed to be present for all maintenance repairs. And they stated, okay, well, we're a pretty busy company, we'll be in touch again. And then they never followed up with me regarding that.
Do you have any documentation to that effect?
Yes, I have the text from the Three Rivers Electrical. I'll provide them right now. And then Rodman as well never like followed up on that and tried to have them come out again or anything else.
Okay. And then I know you're seeking the additional $900 full security deposit. Are all of these kind of the same reasons for that request as well?
No, ma'am. So I have, and I believe Rodman probably provided that to you. Let me look through my documentation. But they charged me just basically on beyond normal wear and tear, which is in the state of Washington, that's illegal. They cannot charge you beyond normal wear and tear. And they essentially are trying to say that I left the unit dirty, but I have pictures of how I left the unit and documentation. I mean, I've got a statement as well from the individual who was there present at move-in. There's a witness here today with me who can testify that on day of move out, I left it in clean condition. And they charged me unnecessary charges for cleaning fees, and just standard cleaning that they would have had to do anyways, like vacuuming and mopping, nothing that was beyond normal wear and tear. So here's the first photo. This is the living room. I mean, it's clean condition. I don't see anything beyond normal wear and tear. There's the blinds that I referred to that I take accountability for, but this was my bedroom. It's again clean. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. This is again another shot of the living room. Nothing beyond normal wear and tear. Another shot, an angle of the bedroom. It's cleaned, nothing beyond normal wear and tear. The floors were swept and mopped. This is the countertops. This is the issue too, is these countertops were, I mean, this is clean, but there is damage to the countertops and dirtiness that I put in my move-in condition. So, I mean, I wiped these counters down, but they're old and I mean, there's damage to them before I moved in. So, here's the stove area. It's cleaned, the dining table area. Again, another photo of the countertops and the cabinets. This is another portion of the bedroom that there's like a closet area. It's cleaned, nothing beyond normal wear and tear.
Do you have any like close-ups of anything?
Yes, I
Like
do.
floorboards, fridge, stove,
Yes, I have
floor,
to. Yeah, I do.
cat hair,
Yes.
dirtiness around windowsills. Looks like from a lot of oven.
Okay. All right. So here is close-up photos. So like this is just additional condition, like outlets wouldn't stay, just to show you like that's how it looked when I plugged something in. Here is like
And these photos are from July 25th of 2025.
yeah, I moved out, I believe July, it was like 25th or 27th. But like here's drawers. Here is that's kitchen cabinets. Here is like countertop. Here is the refrigerator, the inside. Kitchen cabinets again. Here's under the stove or under the sink. Let's see. There is cabinets again. So this is like, again, you know, the unit was old and in very like not good condition. This is like, that's paint that's chipped.
All right. I get
Here's
the idea as well.
Okay. There's the stove. Here's close-ups of the restroom as well that I.
So I'm looking at this tenant statement and trying to go through it to get to that 129 figure, right? And so it looks like they charged you move out cleaning, the replacement for the damaged blinds, and then they refunded. And so then there's a $900 deposit. They also waived the fee for a no-show. I'm not sure what that is, but they.
That's regarding the electrical who never showed. They texted me but never showed.
Okay, so it looks like they waived that fee, so you were refunded that fee. And then, so I think that was part of the check that was made, and then you had a late fee of $75 and then your rent payment. So it does look like the balance equals out to you owing $129.45.
Okay.
That's accurate. Is that I'm just reading what's in this document.
Would that equal the math though? The from $900, 100.
Yeah, if you look at the balance portion, it's because it's taking into consideration, it's charging you certain things and not and like refunding you for certain things. So it's a plus and minus, right? So like they are charging you certain things, but then you're also paying them like rent and your late fee, which was $75, which I don't believe was paid. So the only payment that you have made in this whole section would be the $900 rent for July. So that's how it gets to that number.
Okay.
All right. Can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth today?
I do.
Thank you. All right. So, how do you know Miss Sanchez?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay. And what did you want to, I guess, inform the court in regard to Miss Sanchez's request for the cost?
I mean, I was with her when she moved in, and I know her witness that she said that she had the email stating how the
and sir, I'm not going to consider that right now unless that person is here. So
I'm just saying that I was in her life at that time, and
okay.
She told me the same thing when she moved in and how dirty it was, and they tried to show up like after the fact while she was moving in with a Clorox with some Clorox wipes to come like try to clean it up before, but she was already moving in, and she said that she wanted it to be clean when she moved in, which they didn't do. And then they tried to show up after the fact while she was already moving in. So I know about that instance. And then, you know, just as for the retaliation and all that stuff, I was obviously involved in hearing about all that as it's going down. And
were you present for anything, or are you just hearing about it? And Ms. Sanchez, if he is testifying right now, I do not need you in the background telling him what to say.
No,
he doesn't need to tell me what to say. I just
all I hear is I just hear talking, so
okay.
I'm here to hear what you have to say,
just
Mr.
tell me what to
Bradford.
say. This is my testimony. Basically, I'm just trying to think. This is my first time I've ever been a witness in something, so sorry.
It's quite all right. I just heard talking in the background, so I wanted to make it very clear that I'm only hearing from you right now.
Okay. So for the instance of them calling the police and getting trespassed, she had to interact with the police like away from there. She already left, so they trespassed her and made her interact with the police for really no reason. I mean, you know, voicing your concerns is not against the law. And if you don't like those concerns, that's a personal problem. Using the law for retaliation seems pretty petty. So I was knowing that I was not present.
I'm having a hard time understanding you. You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I wasn't present physically, no.
Okay.
But I, you know.
Okay, so let's stick to what you were physically present for.
Okay.
So you were present for when she moved into the unit, and when it sounds like you were present when she moved out.
I helped her move. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like to tell me about that?
So I mean, like she said, it was dirty before. I also was there the whole time. That place is a slum. Like hasn't been updated in like 60 years. Nothing about it was cleanly. So I think, you know, going behind the toilet and trying to find these little like crevices of filth is a bit of a joke to me. I've also read it my whole life. I think that just shows they're trying to look for extra stuff to try to make a point, and it's petty. And then also, as far as the harassment at her place of living, I was there when the people that she ended up having drama with were moving in, and it was 12 o'clock and they were banging around and making a bunch of noise. So she went out and told them, like, what are you guys doing? Can you please quiet down? You know, have some respect for your neighbors. And then after that, that's when all the drama happened, because they didn't like how she asked them to quiet down. But it was like late at night, people are trying to get some rest and they're banging around, not caring about the neighbors. And then that's what ended up leading toward.
That's what ended up leading towards what? You cut out the
hostility at the.
So, is there anything, so is there anything else that you wish to tell me today?
You're running the show. I'm just here for if you need information. I'm just saying, if you're giving me like time to just express my feelings, I've been around enough to see retaliation when I see retaliation. And, you know, because you don't like somebody doesn't give you the reason to break the law and to look for extra things to try to whatever, teach someone a lesson. And that's what it's felt like from all of the things that I've seen is they just don't like her and they want to make her life.
All right, Ms. Sanchez, were you able to contact the other potential witness?
I can do that. No, I can do that right now. I didn't realize that I was supposed to do that while he was testifying. I just have to call her. And if she answers, she answers. If she doesn't, then that's fine. She's currently at work, but she can talk on the phone is what she's saying.
I can barely hear the transition between from where you are to here. So I really need her to actually call in. Okay.
Okay.
So in the meantime, I have a few other questions while we wait for that witness. So, but you did sign that document and understand that that was part of the lease agreement? That by entering the agreement that you acknowledge that it's in a safe, clean, habitable, and sanitary condition?
I mean, yes, I signed the documents, but yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, because when you go to view a place, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not personally usually looking at outlets and, you know, if the shower works properly or.
But you have referenced the checklist quite frequently and have noted those things. So, you know, you were getting very specific. You weren't going around and looking, but you did note many things.
Yeah, after, because
Move-in.
I was given that at time of move-in, and I believe it was like a week to give it back to them, the condition of the unit.
I mean, I have numerous pictures.
Can you show them to me? Because I have the pictures that they sent me as well.
I wish you could have picked these exhibits up yourself.
Well, I believe I have them, ma'am. Let me look.
That's okay.
I believe I have them. Again, this unit was not cleaned when I received it, so there's no way. Where are pictures from move-in?
Was there cat hair? Was there cat hair when you moved in?
Well, the only cat hair I see in the pictures that were provided from me from the defense is there's an exhibit with, let's see, cat hair on the like wood floor. I see that like a little clump. And then like the baseboards and stuff, that is not cat hair. That is just dirtiness from it being dirty, not from my animals or me. Again, this condition was not in clean condition, or this unit was not.
Ma'am, was there cat hair when you moved in?
No, but
Okay.
I don't see
I
hair on the
I think there's
baseboards.
about 15 pages of multiple pictures. Do you have all, or do you think you have all of them? Because yeah, defense may have sent them to you, but this is the exhibits that were filed with the court and were available for pickup for you. So
No,
I
only received 7.
Yeah, there are quite a few pictures about cat hair and damage that I wish I could show you more in detail, but they were available for you to pick up. Can you hear me? The phone number is 0888.
Yes, I can. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Can you please state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Yeah, it's Mariah McGuire. That the unit was very visibly dirty when we entered. When we entered into the front door, you could see the dirt on the ground. The countertops where you rub your finger on it and it was dusty, dirty. There were footprints in the shower. All of the electrical outlets fell out anytime you tried to plug something in. It wasn't a move-in ready unit. And then when we tried to contact the manager, her way of trying to reconcile that was bringing a thing of Clorox wipes while we were currently moving in. And that's all that she tried to do. There wasn't any form of apology. No, hey, okay, can we wait a couple days to come in and we'll clean it for you? It was a box of Clorox wipes. So that was her way to remedy the situation.
Okay. Is there any additional testimony you wish to provide beyond the state of the unit when was moving in?
Other than that, just the lack of courtesy and lack of empathy and lack of trying to work with Irisa to come up with a proper solution. Other than that, I believe that's it. That's all I had for you.
Thank you very much for your testimony today. You are free to go unless, I guess, Ms. Sanchez has anything. Okay.
No, ma'am. Okay. Awesome.
The maintenance request for the door that you said never got fixed?
There was 2. So there's 2 maintenance requests. There was the weather stripping, and then there's also I put in another request that said the front door needs to be replaced because it had visible damage. And you could tell that it was a safety concern for me that, I mean, if it's been broken down before.
So I have a receipt provided by defense for a cost. It says installed new weather stripping on the front door jamb. Took pictures of any signs of damage to door, none was seen. And so they did address that. It looks like on April 24th, which would have been 10 days after your maintenance request.
The weather stripping is for underneath the door for a gap.
I understand what weather stripping is, yes.
They did not fix the front door, no.
It says that there was no damage seen. So they did actually have somebody come look at it. And they took pictures and said that no damage was seen.
So there is damage to the front door. I also have pictures as well.
That I don't have in front of me. What I'm saying is what I have in front of me, the exhibits I have provided by Rodman Realty, is that they responded to your maintenance request in a timely manner. and got that door fixed per what their maintenance person had stated. Is that inaccurate?
Yes, it is inaccurate. I mean,
How
I
so?
don't want to like continue just like arguing either, because it just feels like that's what it's turning into. I get that they
This is a
fixed
trial so
Oh,
that's the point of I'm trying to come to, I have a chance that Rodman Realty still has a chance to speak too. I'm trying to get through everything because I don't have any of the exhibits that you're referencing. So I'm really trying to do this while you don't have to take another day off. Is there anything else that you would like to tell me before I turn over to Rodman Realty?
no.
Amy Graham.
Amy Graham. All right.
Karen Torres, Torres. Yeah.
Okay. And Miss Torres, will you do the same thing? Please raise your right hand.
So when I'm in the maintenance department, and prior to Aricia moving in, I had went over to the unit to make sure it was quote unquote rent ready. It was ready for her to move into, for somebody to move into. And when I went into the unit, I go in there and I put my hands on the countertop and make sure that everything's not, there's no dust or anything anywhere that needs to be addressed, or I would have had my cleaners, come back over there to make sure that those things were taken care of. And then Aricia had come to get keys, and prior to getting keys and then going back over to the unit, she had called us saying that it was not clean, that it hadn't been cleaned, and she was not happy that it wasn't cleaned. That it was dirty. So I had went over there. Yes, I did have a thing of Clorox wipes with me because I wanted to wipe the counter and take a picture of the dirt that she was referring to, so that when she did move out, she wouldn't be responsible for that. When I got there, from what I could see, they hadn't started moving anything, and yet they might have had one piece of furniture at the door. And I kindly asked her, I was like, hey, can you show me the areas that you're referring to? And she said, no, now is not a good time because I'm moving everything in. And I said, okay, just make sure and put it on your move-in checklist. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to put everything on my move-in checklist. And I left. And
so it's your understanding that electrical was checked prior to move-in. The electrician said it's good to go. She indicated the outlets were broken or in disrepair in some fashion. Was there any follow-up after that? Or were you relying on the electrician statement?
The work order, and then the electrician reached out to her. I was under the impression that between her and the electrician, they were going to set up a time for them to come back out to do it because she wants to be present when they're there.
And this was the no-show, correct? Was it to fix the outlets?
It was the no-show was a plumbing
Okay,
one.
that's right. Thank you.
I do have follow-up. I have emails that were sent to Rodman that they also have where I followed up after them.
I will make a note of that with you. So I want to give Rodman Realty a chance to provide me all their information. Like I've provided you a lengthy opportunity, provide all of your information. So I will make a note to follow up on the emails regarding electrical or plumbing.
Yep. The electrical.
I guess from the maintenance side of things, was there anything that did not go addressed? Like, were there any unfulfilled maintenance requests?
We've never outright refused to follow up on anything. We would always want to be able to get into make an appointment to get in to make things right for a tenant as soon as we're able to. I just wanted to make note that when the contractor went into the unit after she had moved out, they made note that there were breakers that had been turned off during tenancy that would affect the ability for some of the outlets and power sources to be able to be utilized, which they turned back on when they saw that they were flipped to the off position.
I think I want to parse this out in two sections. So I want to talk about the state of the unit when she vacated the premises, and the basis for, I guess, the cleaning fees and all of that. If you can talk, I think this. So just to discuss, you guys charged her for move-out cleaning of $52.50, and was that beyond normal wear and tear?
Yes. No.
Okay. Can you please please describe that to me?
Well, in the pictures alone, I mean, there was a lot of cat hair that was all over the floor that still needed to be cleaned up. I mean, besides the cat hair in the pictures, you can see that there was toothpaste on the toilet. There was stuff left in the medicine cabinet. I mean, the unit was definitely not cleaned as it was. There was a toothpick on the shelf in the bathroom that's in the pictures. I mean, it's definitely not, there's dripping and stuff that was on the walls that was down on the trim. And there's like quite a few pictures of the hair. And that's, I mean, that's what we are only charging her for. I mean, not we used her deposit for those things. I mean, she left. Technically, the deposit was forfeited per our contract due to the minimum tenancy not being fulfilled of 11 months. So we did not take that deposit as a forfeit. We overlooked that and credited her deposit anyhow, although we normally would not do that. Typically that deposit is forfeited and they would owe us for anything additional that was being billed for cleaning or repairs.
And that, so you would have technically forfeited that deposit because of what reason in this particular situation?
Because we have an 11-month occupancy requirement for your deposit.
But you guys did not forfeit that $900. You, looks like, I'm just going through the itemized list. It looks like you deducted the move out cleaning and the replacement damaged blinds. Is that from the 900? Is that the only thing that you took out of the security deposit?
There was a late fee that was owed.
Okay.
And then the blinds and the cleaning.
Okay, so that included the $75 late fee, and then it kind of goes back. So, and then you waive that fee for the no-show for the plumber. Okay. And then, so how did so the check that you sent to her was for what? Was it before?
That was the balance of her deposit after the late fee and the repairs and cleaning.
So you gave her the $723 from her security deposit back.
Correct.
Okay.
Normally we would have forfeited that. She would have forfeited that deposit entirely and she would have owed us the almost $200.
When she moved out, did she owe anything or did you guys give her just this check as a refund?
She owed the late fee for July.
Okay. And I guess, can you just briefly address the claims of retaliation?
We're a little confused about that because it was not until after he had been hostile with our staff here in the office and we had a trespass that she went and filed suit in court and whatnot. So from our position, we're the ones that were being retaliated against, and not the other way around.
Can you please describe that more? I guess because I see that there. So I guess what caused her to be trespassed? I know that the police report was filed in the exhibit. So
when she came to the property, he was hostile and was recording everybody. We had a contractor who had no idea who she was, what she was doing, why she was here, anything going on, who came into the office, and she immediately attacked him and told him that he was not allowed to come to her place, that nobody's allowed there when she's not there, and he had no idea who she was, what she was there for, or anything. It was just very hostile, and she could not be, we couldn't talk to her because she was not in a state of mind that she was able to hear out what we were trying to say. So just due to her, the way she was conducting herself, her behavior towards people who had nothing to do with anything that she was here to see us about, and just the negative interactions through to that point, we didn't want her to be here at the property or at our office and causing disturbances for other people that were not necessary for others to be, involved in or brought into for no reason.
Okay, did that prevent her from filing maintenance requests as a tenant still living there? Did that prevent her from paying rent?
Nope. Everything that a tenant needs to be done or needs to do can be done online, or we have a Dropbox. They can drop anything off they need to in our Dropbox. They can mail things to us. They can email things to us. there's numerous ways that tenants can communicate with us or submit maintenance requests or make payments to our office without having to actually physically come to our office. She did state to the officers during their interactions with her that she was going to see us in court because of us having her trespass. So.
And I guess how did the tenancy end? Because I'm showing some like notices to evict or notices to vacate or something like that. Okay, yeah, so I did see the 14-day notice to pay or vacate the premises, which is what I was referring to in the May of 2025. It looks like rent hadn't been paid yet. But that looks like it was taken care of at that time.
Yeah, she took care of that balance shortly thereafter.
All right. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to inform me about in regards to this claim?
I just want to be sure, I know you already mentioned it, that she did try to go and assess the situation with the move-in as far as the cleanliness of the unit, and was basically told that she wasn't welcome to come in and do any of that at that time. And
for Miss Graham, when she went in with the Clorox wipes, is that what you're referring to?
So wanted to see to read what was going on. And it was not only to make sure it was noted for the move-in, but also so we could let our cleaners know when they're not doing a good job, because we want to be sure that they're doing what's expected. But so she wasn't, allowed to access the unit to assess anything at that time. So there's no way we could have really done anything further since we weren't given permission to enter.
Just to follow up, I know you mentioned that you wanted to follow up on the emails. So now's your chance, I guess, on the electrical.
Yes, the electrical and the screens. I want to know, where does it state a law that a landlord doesn't have to provide them if a maintenance request is put in? And also, there's no proof of them doing any electrical outlet. There's proof that they bought outlet covers after I moved out, 8/26, the Home Depot receipt that I also received. And per my text messages with Three Rivers, they never try to at all come back or make contact.
Did you follow up with another maintenance request if it wasn't followed up with?
I have an email which was also sent to Rodman of me stating, you guys are in violation of making repairs to my unit. I stated that my plumbing was still having an issue. Secondly, the outlets, the request was put in April 10th. You had 24 hours for electrical repairs and failed to fix that. The door also, because it was the door jamb was damaged. Like, there was visible damage that I have offered to share my screen and show you that was never repaired. It's not just the weather strip, and so.
Okay.
And that's also.
And I know you brought up the electrical email that you said they didn't respond in 24 hours to fix it, but it does appear that they tried getting someone to come the next morning, and you said that you weren't available.
That's not true. Yeah, looks like I put in these requests May 2nd. And I didn't get a response from the electrical till May 7th via the text messages I shared. That's not the next day.
It's within 10 days, right?
It's 24 hours regarding electrical.
But you indicated that you wish to be present.
Yes, they still didn't make contact with me regarding electrical until May 7th. If this was put in May 2nd, that's passing the legal time frame of 24 hours.
But it's not an electrical issue, it's more of the outlets, correct? Like the covers?
It is an electrical issue because it's a hazard as well. It's a hazard to me because nothing would stay in the outlets. And they never, where is this law regarding the screens? To my knowledge, even the unit that I live in right now currently, our screen popped out and we put in a maintenance request and they fixed it. Like, it is
sounds like it's the choice of the owner.
Where in the lease agreement does it state that they're not required to?
If it was something provided with the unit upon move-in, it would definitely be something that would be maintained and taken care of during tenancy. But
not required to be provided, and so if they are not already there, they're not something that
Does
some
it state
owners
that in your
Okay.
lease agreement?
I just please, I want to remind the parties to speak to me and not each other.
Okay, Your Honor, where does it state that in the lease agreement or Washington law?
It's, well, where's your argument for your authority stating it does need to be required? This is your claim. So I am looking at the small claims, notice of claim filed by Miss Sanchez. Originally, the amount was for $3,000 or $3,275, and that was for moving expenses for $3,200, certificate service fee $40, and filing fee $35. And additionally filed the amended complaint, adding the $900 security deposit. Going through each itemized, at this point, I'm going to rule in favor of Rodman Realty due to looks like the basis for the claim was made stating that the tenant requested reasonable things that were never fixed, and that there was retaliation for an incident where police were called on her and they refused to fulfill maintenance request. But looking at the itemized list provided by defense as well as the testimony today, it does appear that one, the $900 deposit could have been forfeited, but they chose to give it back to you minus the cleaning costs and replacing damaged blinds. Now that replacing damaged blinds you're not contesting, but the move out cleaning you are, stating it's normal wear and tear. At this point, I'm making a finding that due to the photographs provided and the testimony provided,